Hi, and welcome to our show. I'd like to jump right into things by asking you two questions. Number one, have you ever had a huge, bigger than life dream? And number two, when you had that dream, did you feel overwhelmed and feel like it was impossible to achieve? It was totally unrealistic. For the people who can answer yes to both of those questions, this show and every show we're going to do is definitely for you. So many times as individuals, we feel like we're insignificant and our contribution will never make a difference, and that's just flat not true. We're going to give you real life example after example, current day examples, and examples that go way back in history to prove to you that if you have a vision and you have a dream in your heart and you're willing to put in the effort and the energy, then anything is a possibility. What we're going to share with you week after week after week is the power of one. Hi, my name is Marc Accetta, and I'm so glad you're joining us on our inaugural show, our first show ever, and this is very exciting stuff. And I have to share with you the overall concept of this is very, very simple. I've been very blessed in my life to achieve a pretty significant amount of success. I mean, certainly I'm no Bill Gates, but you know, I'm doing better than the average guy. And the reality is a lot of my success came because of inspiration. I felt very much like I was limited. I grew up, I was not an A student at all. I was a BC student. I wasn't, you know, the quarterback on the football team. I had a very average high school existence, you know, very average college existence. So I decided to settle into a very average existence. I figured, well, that's what it's going to be, you know, no spectacular things here for me. And then by hearing stories, not by studying facts and figures, but by hearing real life stories of real people, I started to realize that anyone can come from anywhere and achieve anything. If God puts a dream in your heart, there's no reason why you can't have it come to fruition. And I understand that you have got to have that belief. If you don't believe in your heart, it doesn't matter who tells you what, you've got to believe that what you're striving for is possible. That's the first step. Then the second step is you've actually got to believe in it so much that you eliminate all doubt. Because if you have an ounce of doubt, it's all over. You got to believe 100% without a guarantee. Isn't that a trip? See, so many people in life want a guarantee, and I got to tell you, there's no guarantees other than the fact that you're going to die. That's pretty much a guarantee. Other than that, there are no guarantees. So we've got to strive for something that we believe in, even though we don't have any proof positive that it's going to come to reality. But I'm going to give you story after story after story of real human beings that overcame all kinds of odds to get to where they wanted to get to. So it's going to be exciting stuff, and sometimes we'll be interviewing people live and in person. Sometimes I'll just be sharing their stories. For example, one of the shows will be about Winston Churchill, and obviously it's kind of difficult to interview a gentleman who's dead. So we're going to talk about some people that are with us. We'll talk about other people that aren't with us. We're going to interview some people live and in person. But I do want to share with you, since this is the first show, that the whole concept for this show came because when I was in church one Sunday, and I was kind of looking for some inspiration for a big training I had coming up, and I was trying to get across a message at the end of this show. It's really kind of an emotional message I'm trying to deliver about the state that our country is in and how people have got to take ownership of what's going on right now. We can't just be caught up chasing the dollar. We can't be caught up just watching our iPods and our whatevers and caught up in entertainment. We've really got to pay attention because we live in an amazing country, but the reason it became an amazing country is people were focused. We were paying attention. We were holding our government accountable and things along those lines. So I'm trying to get this message, but the twist was, for the first time ever, we were going to have a bunch of people at this training from overseas. So I was really kind of going through this process of how do I get this message across but make it worldwide and universal as opposed to only aimed at Americans. And then I was sitting there in church and they played a song called The Power of One, which I later found out was written by a gentleman called called Israel Houghton. And I got that song, boy, and I got to tell you, fell in love with the song. The words of that song literally inspired me to create this show. And as we go along, I'm sure from time to time I'll share a passage or two from the song and share with you the inspiration that it gave me. And I'm that kind of a person. I'm going to be mentioning movies, TV shows, songs. It's all, to me, about inspiration. You can have all the facts and figures in the world. You can have all the education in the world, but all the education in the world, unless you put it into action, means nothing. And most of the people that I know don't put things into action until they're inspired. So once again, I want to share with you what inspires me. I'll have guests on and they'll share with you what inspires them. The reality is this song is absolutely, positively unbelievable. The power of one to create hundreds of millions of people believing as one. And the bottom line and the last line of the song is it all begins with one. Okay, what if it was up to me to start a revolution? I got to tell you guys, you're capable of starting a revolution. You're capable of doing great things. You're capable of doing anything that you put your mind to. But so many of us are so caught up in our day-to-day lives. So many of us are doing well, so we're afraid to try anything else. I love the book Good to Great. One of the greatest quotes ever in a book that I've ever read is that good is the enemy of great. If you're doing well, if you're doing good, God forbid we try something else. God forbid we take a shot at great because we might lose good. And I got to tell you, we're only here for a short period of time when you really think about it. And if you have a dream in your heart, follow it. It doesn't matter ultimately what kind of house you live in or what kind of car you drive. Yeah, it's nice. I have nice cars. I have a nice home and I like it. But ultimately, I'd be more than willing to risk it in order to achieve my ultimate life's dream. And you should do the exact same thing. So that's kind of what our shows are going to be all about. I'm really excited to bring this information to you. I'm extremely passionate about it. And if we can just change one life, if we can get one of you to understand that you have greatness within you and go out and become inspired and pursue whatever it is you want to pursue, then every one of these shows that we do is going to be an absolute success. That's what it's really all about, having an impact on other people's lives. I was blessed years ago that I was inspired by other people, and it's manifested itself in wild and unbelievable success in my life. I've been very, very blessed, very, very fortunate to have incredible abundance in my life in every way, shape, and form, and I want to give a little bit back and be able to share that with other people. So we appreciate you tuning into this initial show. We're going to have a whole lot of different segments as the shows unfold and different little entertaining things. We're going to have trivia contests. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff. But for now, I just want to get you to get the idea of the concept of the show. And we will be back next week and we will be sharing with you our first story of the power of one.